Hey everyone, so I'm going to try something different today. I'm going to go ahead and talk you through how to make a Mediterranean style marinade for your chickens. It's kind of like, okay, I'm making gyros, chicken gyros basically. So I have I'm going to do the marinade first. So I have za'atar spice, which is a combination of sumac and other spices. And you can usually get this at like a specialty store, but I got it at Kroger, private selection. If you don't have a Kroger, you can probably do Publix. I don't think a food line will have one, or you can order it online. So za'atar spice. I'm going to add that in here and put it in my container. And I'm going to do like, I don't know, 2 cupfuls. So probably a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of this za'atar spice. It's really going to give it that Mediterranean flavor. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in some oregano. And I'm going to do about a half tablespoon of that. I'm going to add in my red wine vinegar too as well, and I'm gonna do about a 1/4 cup of that, and smelling very Mediterranean. I'm gonna also add some extra virgin olive oil to this too as well, and I'm gonna add some Celtic salt. Hold on one second. I'm gonna add about a teaspoon or so. I know I'm not measuring, but to how you want it. Those are the basics. Some Celtic salt. Got all the good stuff. And then I'm going to chop some garlic. So a great way to actually do this is if you have a mason jar. You stick it in the mason jar. And you close it. If this works. You're supposed to be able to break it up. This is not working. Hold on. Usually if you do it with a bowl, it works. You know what else works? Your hands. That works too. So I'm going to take, if you hear children in the background, or Kevin, they're doing that. So I'm going to take 4 cloves of garlic and add that to our marinade as well. Am I embarrassed that didn't work? Not really. So I'm going to take this guy, and I'm just going to chop this guy up. I'm going to combo these guys up. They don't have to be perfect. Just want to kind of like roughly chop them. Then I'm going to go and drop my onion up too. I'm going to add that in there. This other half was from yesterday's fajitas. Oh, I gotta order onions. You ever just like forget things? That's why I did the order for tomorrow, so then I can add it to my order. And so this is an acidic marinade. If you're doing chicken thighs, probably better do it overnight. It's kind of just like a quick marinade. So I put a little more acid in this. I'm going to go ahead and do 1 lemon. I'm going to go get my juicer. I'm going to add 1 lemon to this. Actually, these are kind of big. I think I'm just going to do half a lemon. Super fresh. You know the lemon's too big. You ever have that problem? It's too big. So we're just going to do half a lemon, and then I'm going to do this pepper. I always do my peppers different ways. My favorite way is just to cut the bottom, and I'll use that later. And then cut down the center, and then cut around it. and then I can throw this part out. Nobody likes the butt. That butt. And now the gross part. I gotta do the chicken. I like to do all my vegetables first, and then I'll do the chicken last. So I'm gonna put everything away. Okay, so underneath my little cutting board, I have paper towel, and I'm just gonna use the same cutting board because it just had vegetables on it. Sorry, my video cut out. So I have all the grossness here. The deliciousness. Yes, I just cleaned up the chicken. And add a little more salt. And then I'm gonna go ahead and cover this guy up. You can use a plastic bag. I just shake it up. And then we're going to do our flatbread. I have my oven set at 350, so keep it flatbread. And I'm going to show you really super easy flatbread with no yeast to make your life happy. So we're going to go and do that. Okay, so I have a medium to large size bowl in here. I have my all-purpose flour, and I'm going to do 3 cups. 1 all-purpose unbleached flour. You want to use bleached flour. Bleached flour I only use for like southern baking, where I'm just making biscuits. It has higher in acidity and it has less protein structure in it, so it's good for like flaky dough, like pie crust or biscuits. So like, think white lily. That's an example. We're gonna put our apron on. My mom actually made this for me a long time ago. It's kind of cheesy, but it works. Thanks, Mom. Tie this guy up. All right, so I'm gonna do 1 teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon. Okay, those are kind of 2 teaspoons. 1 teaspoon of salt, and then I'm gonna do 2 teaspoons of baking powder. You can't even see it. You get it. 1. You know how you end up at one point in your life you have like 300 like these, and then when you're like, oh, I need to go buy some, I can't find any, and then you go buy some, and then you declutter, and then you realize they're in a little bag that you organized a long time ago. Yeah, I'm sure that's somewhere, but I've just been using this 1/2 teaspoon for a while now. Okay, so we're gonna mix it up. I'm gonna use some chopsticks. You can use a whisk, I guess, that works. I find this to be, I don't know, I just like it. It makes me feel more in my culture. I'm just kidding. No. All right, so I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of oil. I'm going to do extra virgin olive oil. I'm just going to eye it. And I'm going to do about 1½ cups of non-fat or just plain Greek yogurt to this. I do the oil first just because it makes it easier. So, hey guys. So I'm going to do 1½ cups, and I can always add more. So, I figured I'd do this one, because if you've never made flatbread, this is probably the easiest flatbread you can make. I'm just going to leave that in there, because I'm making more. I'm just going to kind of mix this dude in. I like this because it has like, you know, I'm going to have to go in with my hands, I think. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to start mixing it in from the center and working my way out. So adding in the dough slowly, or the flour slowly. I don't want to just force it in. I want to gently add. And there's different ones that you can do. I know there's a non-recipe that's really easy too, but if you've never used yeast before, you can't really mess this up. You just can't. It gets them on the floor. I love that yogurt smell. It has that tart. It might be because the lemon is right here, but why does that smell so good? Okay, I'm gonna keep working this dough. So a good brand to use for all-purpose flour. The Diamond brand is nice. You can use Gold Medal. Just make sure you're using the unbleached. Whatever you like. Everyone has their preference. Like, my mom's been using this flour for her whole life. But I use King Arthur. It's got a higher protein structure. I have to think about it. Actually, it's funny, that's the first thing that, was not there anymore. And all I'm doing now is kneading the dough. Till it's homogeneous. And then I'm going to let it rest. A little bit. Let this lady rest. I mean, I could just put this on the counter, but I know the sealant, I don't know, I'm nervous. We seal these counters. And I don't think they're food safe. So. Alright. So we're almost. I'm just using the back of my hand, and I'm just pushing it down. And then I'm going to clean up. Everyone likes a good cleanup. I might transfer this, actually. Yeah, hold on 1 second. Okay, I gotta go to my wooden board because I needed a little bit more grip. So, right here. just trying to get it so it's relatively smooth, not overly tough. So, move this guy through. All right. Once it starts to like not stick, there's no yeast in this, so I don't really need to worry about anything. I'm gonna cut this guy up. So I'm pretty sure I can get 8 pieces. That might be a little small. 3, 4, 5. This one's kind of tiny. All right, maybe 7. See how that goes. Let's move the ends. Here. Other guy. Okay. We're ready to go. So I am going to roll these out. This doesn't really need any rest because there's no yeast in it. You could rest it a little bit, and that'll help with the gluten a little bit if it's stretching back. So you can rest it. But there's yogurt in here, so I don't want to push that. So let me get my rolling pin. Right. So my oven at 350, I'm going to bump it to 375. I have my French pan. Let's see. Me, I'm always like, let's see if it sticks. Okay, there's not sticking, so we're just going to roll it. And then I have a stone in the oven. I'm just going to put it on the stone, see how we fare with it. Because we're going to, I guess we could do this. No, I'm going to do this. You would do it on your cast iron, your cast iron. So I'm looking at like a 1/4 inch. That's good. So I'm going to bake these off, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple in the pan so you can see the look, how they look is different. Oh, sorry. You're back. Madeline, are you doing your math review? Okay. Homeschooling, so much fun. Okay, so I'm gonna drop it in the pan. Just not what that said. Okay, I'm looking for some brownness on the bottom. Put these in here. This guy. So I'm looking for kind of like a brown. And then I'll pull it off after a couple minutes. Okay, here's your chicken. I'm just gonna add them. Let that cool. I put sauce on there.